Good morning, all. I am Delphany Polk, known to many of you as Fix It Del. Well, I'm here to tell you a little bit more about the TV show that I'm doing. It's called Choose You. And why not choose you? You have so many choices and decisions to make on an everyday basis. Why not choose you? And today is the best day to choose you. Choices that we make on an everyday basis, whether we stop for gas in our car, should we not pay a bill, should we not do whatever we have lined up for that day. If you're like me, I keep a to-do list. And on my list, there are things, and I rate them in the order of importance to me. Well, make a list of your life and rate everything that is important to you and put it in order. When you look at the list, you oftentimes leave yourself off. You forget to choose you. But think about it. Why not choose you? God chose you. Had he not chose you, you wouldn't be here. I'm not going to say, oh, my life is perfect. Oh, this has been an easy road for me, because it has not. It has not. And I myself spent many, many years put myself on the back burner of life. But times have changed. Things have changed. And that will no longer be the same. I decided one day, the life I want to live, I need to focus on it. I need to focus on me. I need to focus on what I want and what I want to do. Granted, TV show, what have you, not my biggest go-to in the world. That wouldn't have been my choice, because I felt, why be in the limelight? You know, I knew I love working in a behind scenes stadium. I'll be behind the scenes. I'll be the person who makes sure everybody else is front, foremost, doing what they need to do, having what they need to have in every aspect of my life. I am one of the most supportive people that you would ever meet. I am going to be your right hand no matter what. That was just how I was. And the reason being is because you learn at an early age that being boastful and prideful are not always. No, don't get me wrong. It's good to have self-confidence, but there's a thin line between confidence and arrogance. And so many times, those of us who try not to be on the arrogant side pull back from our self-confidence. And now you learn a new lesson. It's okay to be confident. It's okay to be outgoing. It's okay to be, for lack of other words, to be loud. If you know me, you know I would not adorn a lot of jewelry. That's changed. That's one of the changes. You know, I don't wear loud colors, but now I have every color of the rainbow in my closet. I would not speak up. Now, if I have something to say, or if I feel you've wronged someone or you've said something wrong behind closed doors, I would not mind telling you or bringing it to your attention or just giving you a pinpoint on next time, do it like this. But in those things, I lost myself. And so in finding myself, I now speak out openly on a lot of things. No, I'm not going to go and start a fight, because the battle's not mine. It's the Lord's. What sense does it make for me to fight or argue or bring up all of the errors of other people's ways when it's not about me anyway? Keep in mind that only what you do for Christ will last. Only what you do for Christ will last. In your everyday walk, your everyday talk, whatever you do, if you're not upbuilding the kingdom, then it's for naught. It's for naught. And I really had some personal situations to come up that threw me into a new realm of life. Everybody knows I love communication. Oh, anything in counseling area, I'm going to be that listening ear. I'm going to be your big sister. I'm going to be your sister, your cousin, your mom, friend, whatever. And I always was. But within the last couple of years, I came to a realization when I needed that lead, that hearing ear, the only person I had to turn to was God. Don't get me wrong, because he's the all in all, the Omega, Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. I didn't have to worry about nobody else knowing my business because I didn't tell anybody my business. Nobody knew, but I was holding all this stuff in. And it was making me a person that I didn't want to be. And then that's when I decided to choose me. Now, God put it on my heart because there were things that I said, and Lord knows. It's funny now because there are situations that came up and I was in a place that was not the coming of God. Let's just go and say it. I had become a mean person. I had really like shut down for the outside world. If you were not a blood relative, there are things that you couldn't say to me, ask me for, look toward me for. I have had very few friends. No, I take that back. I have several friends, but I was not being friendly. There were so many people that God placed in my life at different times and different situations. I didn't even understand what he was doing. I had no thought of he was putting me in connection with the people he wanted me to be connected with, because it was, my life is going to go full circle. There are friends that have reappeared from years and years of not communicating, not being friendly with one another, not keeping up with one another, not touching bases. And because I had blocked everybody out of my little world, I was just further out. It was just like nothing could get through this brick wall I had put up. But I put the wall up. It was my fault. I put it up. I wanted it there initially. But as time passed, it became to a point where I realized I needed someone. I had God. I've always loved God. At an early age, as a matter of fact, at 6 years old, in 1979, it was before my birthday. I remember it. And I took God into my life and made him a personal part of my life. You teach your children how to pray and all of this. Yes, I knew how to get down on my knees on the side of the bed and lay me down to sleep. Lord, I pray my soul to keep the whole nine. I knew all of that. I knew to pray over my food. I knew to pray for my friends. I would pray for a test. And that was not that I didn't grasp it like the other kids. It was just a different thing to me. There was one time we had communion in church. I know I had to be 8 years old. And the communion table was rolled down the aisle of the church. They brought it down like they would a casket in a funeral. Put the table in front of the church, and we had communion. At that moment, I just realized, that was the ultimate sacrifice. The ultimate sacrifice. So if God chose us, he chose you, and he chose me, why not choose you? Why not choose you? He chose you to give his only begotten son. He loves you that much. He loves you that much. And we're quick to holler, oh yes, I love myself. I'm good. Do you really, really love yourself? What is love? What is love to you? What does that mean to you? Because everybody has their own definition about what love is. And I thought because of that type of love that God gave me, that sacrificial love, that's what I had to give. So I gave up a lot. In my almost 50 years, I've given up so much. Things I've worked hard for, things that just were laid in my lap, things that I had no recognition of, didn't know the value of, didn't have an understanding of. If I had it, you had it. If it was accessible to me, it's accessible to you. I just felt that way because that's the love that I grew up with. That's the love that I had been taught. So now I'm giving this sacrificial love and try my best to be humble in every sense of the word. So I don't want to be flashy. I don't want to stand out. I don't want nobody to notice me. I want to be the behind the scenes queen. There were things that just not attractive to me in being the center of attention. Mind you, I come from a big family. I'm the first girl. So if I wanted attention, I got family. I got mama, grandmama. Well, I had mom, grandma, aunties, cousins, sisters, brothers, you name it. Then I started having children, and I made sure that they had everything they needed and a lot of the stuff they wanted because I didn't know any better. I was going to give my all. If I had $100 and you called me for 99, I'm gonna give you 100. That's just the way I was cut. That was just it. That was just my makeup. It took a while for me to understand that that was not what it was supposed to be. That's not it. I finally chose me. Again, it took time, but I'm so glad that I had that eye opener to make sure to change my life, to change my world, to change everything I was about. Because it's at that moment when I chose me that I realized that obedience is better than sacrifice. Obedience. Just let that sink in for a second. Obedience is better than sacrifice. So no matter what I was giving up, if I wasn't following the word, and keeping God first and loving myself, loving my neighbors, and loving self. And that's where we mess up, because we always know, okay, I got to love my neighbor like I love myself. But keep in mind, how do you love yourself? At what level do you love yourself? At what rate do you love yourself? What is loving yourself? You really can't love anyone else if you don't love you. You can't. It's impossible. You can't do what you don't know. And self-love is very important. Self-love is very, very important. So to love you, you first and foremost, before anything else, you have to choose you. And as many of you all know, that I am an extreme mental health advocate. Our community lacks the proper knowledge of mental health. We are often taught that receiving mental help is a bad thing. It is not. Sometimes it's the only thing that may be able to get us through. If you or someone you know is in need of mental health, reach out. Reach to the closest facility near you. There are online situations. We even have, in our GEMS group, we have a couple of specialists there. I am not a mental health specialist. I am in the process of getting my certified peer recovery specialist certification. I am in the process, but I am not a specialist. I am an extreme advocate for more than one reason. So if you're afraid to reach out or to talk to someone or to contact someone, or if you just need a mediator or someone just to hold your hand along the way, reach out. Even if you have to reach out to me, because we fail to realize, we think that getting assistance in mental health is embarrassing. But when you need food, you get food stamps, you get WIC, you get commodities. If you need help with your light bill, you go to CPS and get one of those certificates. If you need help with rent, you go to MIFA and let them help you pay your rent. It's okay to reach out. It's okay to get help. Yes. I'm not even ashamed to say, yes, I've reached out for help because I needed it. I've suffered some grand losses in my life, and I felt that I was in a box because I didn't want to be judged, or I didn't want to embarrass anybody. Not even just myself. I didn't want to embarrass those connected to me. So that put me in a very bad place. And when you, just like with animals, when you cage a wild animal, it's not very good. Things go awry. So I'm not proud of everything I've done. I'm not proud of the situations I've been in. But I'm in a better place after I chose me. So I'm suggesting to you all, choose you. Choose you over the situation, choose you over the financial status, choose you. What God has for you is for you. So it doesn't matter the shortcomings of other situations. What he has for you is for you. And what he's promised you, you're going to get. And I'm not going to be on here long. I'm going to go ahead and wind down a bit. Because, at the end of the segment, I want to give you a little fix-it-Dale situation on each show. And I want to take time to, reach out and support some of the supporters of the show. We have people who've contacted me, and I appreciate everybody supporting Choose You. I really, really do. And don't forget, in all you say and in all you do, in the end, you're gonna win, but you gotta choose you. Have a good one. Talk to you all later. A few mentions. We have Sharon Carter of Unique Creations, LLC in Marion, Arkansas. The number is 901-691-5847. And she does customized t-shirts, mugs, glasses, and more. Give her a call and see what Sharon has in store. We have Purpose Driven Tees, PDT, 52 designs, 100% original thoughts and quotes. A silent spoken moment, all in a talking t-shirt. www.mypdt.com. Again, that's www.mypdt.com.